Hey y'all, so I want to talk to y'all about tonight, okay? Oh my God. So I went dancing, and yes, I was careful. I didn't act wild or nothing like that. I was I was careful. Um so anyway, there was a pub crawl tonight where there's multiple bars that are involved, and one guy told me, because I said, "Where do you get your bracelet from?" Like it's a bracelet you wear. There's a nonprofit organization, and you have to purchase the bracelet in advance, and then you wear it on the night of the pub crawl. So whatever bars that are involved, when you go in, it doesn't cost you anything because you paid for the bracelet. See, I don't drink alcohol, so this is all new to me. I had to ask somebody, how did it work? And so there were costumes everywhere. I mean, costumes all up and down. There was a guy who was, oh man, what is that dude's name? Y'all know him. He's a white boy with an afro. He passed away. He was a painter, professional painter, and he would do all these shows. Y'all know who I'm talking about. Bob Ross. Bob Ross. That's his name. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Honey, there was somebody who was Bob Ross. There was a couple of girls that were Cruella DeVille. Um, a girl and a guy were both bananas, which I thought was hilarious. Literally, bananas, the fruit. Um, Somebody was the Pope. Uh, Another person was the Colonel from KFC, the old man with the glasses. He was the Colonel from KFC. That was interesting. I didn't know people wear costumes this early, but apparently they do. And I'm trying to remember what else. There was somebody who was like a Tinkerbell. Another girl that was Poison Ivy. I don't really know what that is. What that is? Does that represent a character from a show, a TV show, or something? Or I don't know. But she was wearing a dress, a green dress, and she had poison ivy plants all around it. I know that's a character of some sort, but I have no clue what that's all about. Um, so those are the ones that I can think of off the top of my head. Another guy was a chef. Another guy was a crayon, which was funny, yeah, absolutely funny. Somebody else was a hamburglar. Somebody else was an inmate. Mm, yeah. So 1 year, I don't know if y'all remember this, but 1 year I was losing the ability to walk, and I'm hard headed, so I went to a Halloween party, and I was getting worse, and I should have been in a wheelchair because I was losing the ability to walk. So what do? I go to this Halloween party back then, this was years ago, and I walked all over the place asking people about their costumes. Oh my God, that was the worst. I never should have did that. I mean, I had a chronic issue, and here I am acting like I'm perfectly fine, and that was just a massive mistake on my part. I was I think it's Venus, the goddess of love. That's what I was. And so I was still in my costume, and I went home, and I took a picture. I smiled real big for the camera, and I took a picture of myself. I no longer have it. That was years ago. But I took a picture, and then I sat on the bed or on the floor. I can't remember which, and I just started bawling because of the pain. What I should have done. You always think of the best things after the fact. And by the way, I had a tumor in my spine. I found that out later. My neurologist told me chances are I had it my whole life, and I hurt my lower back. and that healed, but it must have activated that tumor because it was kind of like it was, I don't know, sleeping or something. Like it wasn't doing anything. And then when I injured myself, it activated it and it started growing. And I should not have been walking anywhere. I should have been on crutches or I should have been in a wheelchair. And then I thought, this is such an innovative idea, but I didn't think about it till after the fact. I should have been, are y'all ready? I should have been an escaped convict in a wheelchair. I'm so good that I escaped prison and they couldn't catch me because even though I was in a wheelchair, that is absolutely hilarious. But I didn't think about that till after the fact. So there goes that. And I eventually, I think a month and a half later or something, 2 months later, I had maybe less time. I can't remember. I had surgery to have it removed. So thank goodness for that. But I was getting worse and worse and worse and worse. And I knew I had no goddamn business walking up and down and asking people about their costumes. No, 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 no. Bad. I paid for that. I bawled my eyes out. So anyway, met these two guys tonight, and we got to talking and this and that. And people reveal who they really are. Um, they reveal alcohol makes them show all kinds of stuff, and they're going to be their self because it lowers your inhibitions, make you act a fool. So anyway, this dude starts talking to me. Excuse me, I'm tired. This dude starts talking to me. He's with his friend, and we're talking back and forth, and he seems like a nice guy and everything. He seems cool. Until, yes, men will sabotage themselves so fast. I mean, wow. He starts talking about how hot I am, and you're so sexy, and I love your eyes, and I love your smile. And he keeps kissing my hand, and he's just acting like you are just like, oh my God, right? But I was also wearing my t-shirt that said, underestimate me, that'll be fun. And I had my shacket. Yes, there's such a word as a shacket. It's a shirt and a jacket combo. And I had my shacket on. And so he opened up my shacket and he was reading my t-shirt. And he was like, oh boy. Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. But prior to seeing my shirt, he was talking about his boner. Oh, you're so hot. I wouldn't be surprised if I got a boner or some stupid shit. And you know what? Look, can't you keep sexual? Can men just not control their mouth? Can they just not control what flips out their mouth? They can't control that. They gotta say something sexual. They gotta say something pornographic. That is inappropriate. You don't know this person. You don't know this person. What is wrong with you? It's juvenile. Would you grow up, for God's sakes? I know now. I see why his ass is single, because he's worried about where he's gonna put his boner. What the fuck? It don't make no sense. It's just such a turnoff. It really, really is, to be quite honest. It's a turnoff. You know, I'm inappropriate with my friends. Like, we say stupid shit, or we see somebody dressed inappropriately, and we'll make a inappropriate joke about it. But to say that to someone you just met, or to say something pornographic to someone you just met, what in the freaking hell is wrong with you? You need to get backhanded in the mouth. That's inappropriate. It's a goddamn appropriate. So anyway, we were hanging. I'm trying to overlook his stupidness, and so, which is really not an easy thing to do anyway. And so his friend was a total opposite. He don't come out the side of his neck and talk crazy. He just doesn't do that. He was not raised in a barn. He actually has some respect. And we were talking and we were getting to know each other. And he had approached me, boner dude, he approached me. I mean, I'm sitting over here minding my business. I didn't ask you to come talk to me. So anyway, we were talking and talking, what do you like to do for fun and this kind of thing, and et cetera, et cetera. And then he wanted me to dance, and I was taking a chill pill for a minute. I just wanted to relax. And so, excuse me, um, when I wanted to dance, he let me go up on the dance floor by myself. Okay. Now, this is where it gets, besides him talking about his boner, because that was weird enough, but it got weirder because I watch people. I told y'all that. I watch people, I study them. So I'm going to have a good time whether he comes on the dance floor with me or not. Believe you me, I don't need nobody to dance with me. I could do my own thing. I've danced on the dance floor by myself, single handedly by myself. I've done it. I was the first person to break in the dance floor, and then other people are like, "Oh, well, shoot, she's dancing. I might as well get up and dance." You know what I'm saying? I don't need a dance partner, so I don't care. Let him do his thing. But he was having there were two Indian couples, married couples that were sitting next to with each other, whatever. And the one girl, one lady, Indian lady, she was dressed beautiful. She had a turquoise sari, Indian sari, and it was just gorgeous. And so he was talking to her, and he was blowing me off on the dance floor, and he was talking to her. But she's sitting right next to her husband, and I'm watching him, and he's uh, doing a what do you call that? When you toast with somebody. So he toasted with her, and he's all up in her face and everything. And I was thinking, I'm thinking to myself, does he not realize that that is her husband? I mean, you just ignoring her husband and you all up in her grill. That's so inappropriate. No social skills, no proper. I don't know what's wrong with him. I honestly don't know what's wrong with him. And then eventually he had to engage with conversation with the husband, because otherwise you're going to end up having a problem, and he's going to be looking at you like, why are you all up in my wife's face like that? So eventually he started talking to the husband too, but it was so inappropriate. It was inappropriate. He's just inappropriate all the way around the board. And so I eventually got to the point where I walked away from him, and I was talking to other people, and I was talking to one of the girls that works there, and we were hanging out. And then when she left for the night, I went and talked to other people, and then I eventually got to the point where I was talking to another guy that works there, and we were talking for a while because excuse me, this dude over here, Mr. Boner Man, he's just, he's getting and drinking, and he's just acting all kinds of dumb, and it's just, people are just really wild. Some of the girls that had costumes on, I'm not kidding, it looked like their bottoms were missing. Like the costume should have had a bottom part to it, but it didn't, or she didn't wear it or something. I don't really know. And both her butt cheeks are out. And I'm just staring at her ass like, um, how come she's half naked? That's what I'm thinking to myself. Literally staring at her butt like, did you really leave your house like that? What the frick? There were a couple of women that had both their butt cheeks out. They had like one slither of material up there behind, and the rest of it was like ta-da, right in your eyes. And I'm like, okay. I've never dressed like that. Never, ever, ever dressed like that. I do not have body parts bursting out of my clothes. I just don't. I've never done that. You know, I've never done that. It's just weird. You left the house half naked. Why? Did you forget your bottoms? We go to Walmart and get you a bottoms because you got all kinds of stuff hanging out. Anyway, it's just crazy as hell, man. I observe people. It's crazy as hell. I think people are so weird. And boner man, when dudes get to doing stuff like that, I remind myself that's why I'm single. Okay? This is why my behind stays single, because that right there is just inappropriate. I don't need to know about your pecker. I don't need, and I'm going to tell you something else. I'm going to tell you something else. There's something called chemical castration. I watched a documentary on it the other day. And it's crazy. It's totally crazy. I thought maybe this is going to sound really bad. Maybe all men need that since they can't control themselves. Maybe they need that until they get married. And they will go ahead and take you off of that medication. But then they would get married, and then they would be so angry that their sex drive, which is the most important thing in the world to them, that was stifled. So then they'd get married and they would deliberately bang as many people as humanly possible to make up for all the time that they were stifled chemically. You know, it's crazy. Why is that so prevalent in your mind? Why? Why do you always have to slither that into the conversation? Why can't you just talk normal? Hi, my name is David. What's your name? I hope I'm not being too forward. You like this kind of music? Do you normally come here? Is this your first time here? Where are you from? What kind of work do you do? Do you like that type of work? How long have you been doing that? Are you from this area? Were you born and raised somewhere else and you ended up here? Do you see how many topics I covered in less than 5 minutes? None of which were pornographic. Do you see that? So it is possible to do this. Okay? It is possible to have a mature conversation with somebody without making it about body parts and sexual connotations. Shut the fuck up and talk like a normal adult without being a pervert. And I know that's impossible, but it's not really impossible. You could just squeeze your brain, just squeeze it. Take your hand and squeeze all that perverted conversation out of your brain so we can actually have a normal conversation that doesn't entail that type of thing, because every woman doesn't want to hear that. And I'm going to tell you something. If you want a trashy woman, she don't care if you talk to her like that. She thinks that's cute. She thinks that's funny. But if you want somebody classy, you want someone you could actually introduce to your parents or your mama, she's not going to be down for that. She don't want to hear this conversation with you. She ain't trying to hear all that, because everybody talks to her like that. Majority of men are dropping hints and innuendos and staring at her up and down. Her boss is staring at her on the job. Yes, I've been through that. He had a thing for boobs. He would be looking at women's boobs on his work computer, and he was the boss. Okay, so yes, women deal with that crap all the time. The last thing they need is to deal with it from your ass too. Okay? Women can't even walk by a bunch of construction workers without one of them yelling out, "Hey girl, can I get some fries with that shake?" Okay, so women deal with that on the daily almost. Or somebody staring at her behind, or somebody staring at her cleavage, or whatever the case may be. So she don't need it from you too, all right? Because she's going to put you in a category of those guys. She ignores their ass, and when she finds out that you are the same, she's going to ignore you too, or she's not even going to put you in a friend zone, because you don't even know how to act like a friend. You dropping all kinds of inappropriate innuendos. Her friends don't try to stick it in her. They don't. They're friends. Unless they're friends with benefits. And that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about friends. So, yeah, you could talk to trashy women like that. They cool. They cool with that. Or loose women. They cool with that. But classy women, they don't want to hear that shit. They really don't. They don't. They don't. They don't. They don't need you taking your eyeballs and going... your eyes go from the top to the bottom, and then when she turns to walk away, your eyes go right to her ass. Ooh. I mean, come on, man. Grow up. Grow up. Maybe you need some anti-boner medicine. Like I said, castration, chemical castration, because something is seriously wrong with you. That piece of meat controls every thought they have. What the fuck? I am so glad I am a woman, and I am so glad there is not a damn thing on me that makes me be irrational 23 out of the 24 hours a day. I need some tube steak smothered in underwears. Oh my God. Oh, how big is your package? You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man, grow up. Seriously, grow up. Now you see why his ass is single. The one that was Mr. Boner Man, he's single. There's a reason. There's a freaking reason. Anyway, stop laughing, y'all. It's not funny. Anyway, y'all have a good night or good day wherever you are, whatever you're doing. I hope you're having a good time. And I will talk to you later.